He pauses and he goes, "Wit or without?" And I said, "Wit," and he goes, "Come on in." Spatchcock fizzle, Philly cheesesteak stuffed mushrooms. Here's where we're at. Great for leftovers. We use a lot of local produce. Had some leftover steak. We're gonna make something happen. You can do all sorts of mushrooms with all sorts of things. We got a pan heated up here, so let's get started. For the steak, we use ribeye that we grilled last night. If you're gonna use ribeye or any type of meat, always grill it medium rare. And if you're grilling anything more than medium rare, you should probably see a doctor. In the meantime though, medium rare is better for this because it'll cook a little bit while we bake them. But first, what we're gonna do to make sure we're cooking the vegetables right is we save some of the fat from the ribeye. So we're gonna put this in the pan and render that so we get a lot of the steaky, meaty flavor in our vegetables. I'm gonna put that and some butter in there. Okay, so while this is rendering some fat out of there, getting some meat going, getting the juices ready for our vegetables, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the vegetables ready. So here we've got sweet onion and green bell pepper. We're gonna put this in there, stir it around, and really get them cooked up because that's gonna be part of Philly cheesesteak, man. Peppers, onions, we're going through all the ingredients today. I promise, all of them. All right, so while your vegetables are going, we gotta get the mushrooms ready. So a stuffed mushroom that's ready to go typically looks like this. These are baby portobellos from around here, but here's how you get it ready. You basically pop out, after you've washed it, wash all the cow poop off of there, take out the stem, and then take the tail end of a spoon and kind of hold your hand firm around it. Be firm, you gotta be firm. You gotta have a firm hand with the stuffed mushroom. And then get all of the filter and all that stuff out of there. And what's gonna happen is it gives you more room for your stuffing. All right, so our vegetables are going right now. We got our peppers and onions, perfect for a cheesesteak. In the meantime, we're turning our grill into an oven. So on my grill here, I've got 6 burners. Light the 2 outside ones, leave the 2 inside ones unlit. It's gonna create kind of an oven thing. And then close it so this boy can get hot. So as that thing's heating up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish mixing up our stuffing. So from there, I'm gonna take these vegetables, and they're gonna be kind of warm, and that's okay because we want the cornbread to get a little bit moist because the oven, the heat will kind of dry it out. So put this in there, right? And then from there, really evenly distribute it. You want, the steak is the star of it. So how we've measured it out is we have equal parts steak. There's more steak than there is peppers and onions and cornbread. So you have the cheese mix in there too to put a little flavor and salt throughout the dish. You're gonna take a tray. Buy these by the cases when you can because they're great to bring to tailgates to parties and you can toss them when you're done, but they're easy to cook with. So I've got this over here. What we're gonna do is you're gonna take a mushroom that's been cored out, like I said, take the stuffing, and what you wanna do is get the stuffing in there, stuff it over your stuffing, but jam it in, like really get as much of that in there because you want every single person that has a bite of this to get a bite of the entire taste. Anyone that cooks, if I've ever made something for someone, I want them to have a forkful, a mouthful of every single thing we're cooking. Do not go light if you're trying to make someone happy. So from there, you're gonna take this, right? Now you've got your stuffed mushroom. Take these, you're gonna fill up the pan with it, and then what we're gonna do for half of them, we are going to take some provolone, like I got it in slices, and put the provolone on top because the provolone will melt down on it. We're gonna do half with provolone, the other half you're gonna leave naked. But we're gonna top them later because we're gonna use Cheese Whiz for the second half after they bake. So I'm gonna stuff these guys right now. Okay, we've got these guys stuffed. What I like to do to add color because it looks cool, I take some fresh parsley, drop it over the ones that have the cheese already on it. We're gonna save some of this parsley to put on the ones we do the Cheese Whiz because I've got the Cheese Whiz going on my grill right now to melt that up. So now, let's put these guys on here and get them melted up. All right, so now our shrooms should be ready. And they are. So what's gonna happen is when the provolone is melted on that, you're gonna know that these things are ready to be eaten, and that's what we're looking for. So we'll let it cool for a second, then we're gonna apply some Cheese Whiz. I'm gonna tell you a story about Philadelphia. I'm wearing boxing gloves like my homeboy Rocky because it's the fighting city of Philadelphia, but here's the deal. My homeboy Bill and I were there for business, and we wanna go to this club. There's a really cool band playing there that we wanted to see. And we get in line, and the bouncer's letting people in, and finally they stop right before us. So I tell the bouncer, man, we came all the way from New York to see this band. And he's like, sorry, dude, it's full. So he pauses and he goes, wit or without? And I said, wit. And he goes, come on in. So the fact that I wanted to have Cheese Whiz on my Philly cheesesteak got me in to see a band that actually the band wasn't good, but the drinks were flowing, so I had a good time. So what we're gonna do is half of these for the provolone people, half for the regular people that like it wet. So what we do is we're gonna take some of the Cheese Whiz and we're gonna drizzle it along the top of the ones that we didn't put the provolone on. So you're gonna get a good little coating of it, but Cheese Whiz is strong. Now actually what we did was, we used Cheese Whiz here. If you wanted to use slices, right, this is how Cheese Whiz typically rolls. They use a version of this at like Tony Luke's and Pat's and all those places. So that's cool to use this, that's how we like it. But if you wanted to, you could use Velveeta and cut it into slices. They sell cubes of Velveeta too. Also, because of this, I'm gonna put a little bit of the parsley on top, because like the color, and yeah, it's a little fresh, but there's so much salt and different things in here, the parsley's a good taste with it. So from that end, you're gonna sit there. So here's to Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. That's what's up.